Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Hump day. We're halfway through the week, right? I am actually right now I am going to deliver a kayak to Ellsworth, Wisconsin, to somebody that I know on Facebook. I've known him for a couple years. Jeff, he's a good dude, been through a lot in his life, just like a lot of us have, and you know, he doesn't experience much hope out there by himself out in, you know, Wisconsin, you know, because he likes to watch my videos and everything, and he's like, man, I wish I lived closer so we could hang out more. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. I wish I lived closer to a lot of you guys so we could hang out. And, you know, I myself, I have no problem delivering something like this. It's a kayak that I don't use very often. I haven't used it in a couple years. Me and my son were going to redo it, but we decided not to. And, you know, that's okay. That's okay. We got other things going on. We got other irons in the fire. And so, honestly, you know, for me, doing something like this for somebody isn't no thing. I don't have any, you know, anything better to do than to help somebody else out, right? And that's how life is all the time. I gotta get up here. I just skipped that whole line. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just skipped that whole line to get on 94. So I got my coconut water Mountain Dew drink here. Not to be confused with an energy drink. I don't drink that crap. I shouldn't even drink this, but I need a little something. I stopped drinking coffee. I got my water with me. I stopped drinking coffee. It made my heart flutter. I don't like that. I don't like being anxious. I don't need anything in me that's going to make me any more anxious than I already am. And honestly, when I don't have caffeine and I don't have that sort of stuff in my system, I'm a lot less anxious. Sugar as well. And sugar is honestly, I try not to have a copious amounts of sugar until later in the day, because if I eat like a candy bar or something after lunch or before lunch or in the morning, or a donut, if I have a donut in the morning, that sets the table for my senses, my taste buds. And that's all they want. Then where's that sugar? Where's that sugar? So another thing we can learn in recovery is to what we put in is what we're going to put out. And if we're always putting in Monster energy drinks or Red Bulls or Celsiuses or whatever the heck they're called, then that's probably what we're going to end up putting out, right? We're going to have a nice short burst of energy. But what happens when you go home and you want to spend time with your family and you're all burnt out then? And you're crashing. I used to do that. And I used to do that with work. I used to work myself silly. I used to locate underground utilities, and I did that for a couple of years. And we had to work 60 hours a week because we had to get our tickets done. Otherwise, you'd get demoted or you'd lose your job or whatever, you know. And so I was always a good locator. I always worked till the work was done, and I would come home. And of course, at that time, I wasn't sober yet, so I was drinking. So I would get in my car, get home, drink, and then I would be no good for nobody. I wouldn't be any good for anybody. So I found that to be true with sugar, energy drinks, anything really. And then honestly, I can't even believe I'm even saying this, but as you get older, you're going to want to eat more fruits, more veggies, more salads, more greens, more, you know, red meat. That's my diet. It might be a little different than your diet, but these things are going to help create within us a healthy diet, right? We can't always be eating the same thing over and over. Otherwise, we're going to get deficiencies of some sort, right? And we can have deficiencies of hope. We can have deficiencies of inspiration, of encouragement, of motivation. We can be deficient of all kinds of things. But listen to me and help me, help you, help me, because I'm in the same boat. I'm trying and learning to try to figure out what's what too. So I found out that my body doesn't do very well with caffeine, particularly coffee and high amounts of caffeine. I think this is 10% juice. It's got coconut water in it. It's got some caffeine. And you know, it's better than sucking down a couple Diet Pops for me, because once I start drinking the Diet Pops, and then that's what I want. I can drink one of these and be okay a day. And of course, I don't even eat them every day. It's just when I feel like I need a boost, you know. I'm still that addict. I still have that addict mentality in me. But if we're playing addict with an energy drink a couple times a week, then I guess we're far improved from where we were before, correct? So I'm on my way to Wisconsin. I'm in the truck. Don't forget to pray for Chris. Man, every chance you get, think about them guys and just hope that everything works out there. I got to remain hopeful, and I think that's my job. That is one of my jobs in life, is to stay hopeful and to be positive and to not think negatively. So I think Chris is going to make a full recovery. I think he's still obviously in a coma right now, but they are working on him and doing that sort of thing. I haven't really gotten much of an update, but I saw Terry got his teeth yesterday. That's great. That's just great. That's going to improve the mood and be a mood booster, and that'll be a morale booster for sure for him, because he can smile, and man, that guy's got a heck of a smile, a heck of a contagious smile. So way to go, Terry. When we talk about inspiration, when we talk about hope, and we talk about keeping the hope, what are we going to be? How do we do that? That's a tall order, right? And how do we even approach such a tall order without some sort of skepticism that maybe it won't work or this or that? That's what I'm talking about when we need to learn how to keep that stuff at bay. Skepticism, negativity, resentment, anger, being revengeful and that sort of thing. Those things are just going to tear us down, and they're going to occupy our important time with stuff that we don't need to be thinking about. We should rather be thinking about hope, helping people, sobriety, recovery, friends, family, work, so on and so forth. Now, we don't need to be sitting here thinking about all the negative stuff that could or would happen in our lives if we did this or that or this or that, right? Just do the right thing and expect the results to come at you in the way they will, because everything is predestined to happen the way it is. There is no chance. There is no coincidence or happenstance. Things don't just happen because, we wanted to, right? It's all ordained, you guys. So we can pray all we want. Honestly, prayer is just opening a line of communication with God. You're not changing anything. Nothing is getting changed by your prayers. I'm sorry if that's news to you. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion and how I feel. But honestly, you guys, if sometimes we think the more prayer we put in, the more likely it will happen for us, I am afraid to say that that's probably not the truth, right? I think whatever is going to happen no matter what, and we just got to sit back and let it happen and be thankful that it wasn't worse, because sometimes it could be bad, but just always thank God that it's not worse, right? Thank you for allowing me to have a crappy day, but thanks for not X, Y, and Z. I mean, be thankful and grateful for this life that we're given, because a lot of the times there's a lot of people out there that don't have nothing. Could you imagine that? Being homeless and not being able to get back on your feet. But with sheer will, determination, and commitment, and perseverance, and persistence, and consistency, these things are going to get us by. They're going to help us, because it just put your nose to the grindstone and do. Don't think about the consequences. Don't think about the outcome. Don't think about the outcome. Think about consequences, but don't think about the outcome. Let the outcome be what the outcome will be, because it's going to be what it is anyways. Amen? So hey, that's it. That's what we need to do. I'm feeling pretty good today. I need my chapstick. And I'm just inspired, you guys. I love talking recovery with you guys, because I have no idea who I'm reaching out there. I just rode with a guy named Thomas yesterday that found me on the internet. Made contact, became my friend. We just put on 235 miles yesterday. He joined the Sober and Clean motorcycle club that I'm a part of, and I'm prospecting for a little while yet longer until I get my patch. So we're both prospects at the time. Right now, we're both prospects. So hey, 2 prospects. Let's see if we can grow that group. But this is the sheer determination and consistency, perseverance, and consistency in recovery that I'm talking about, because Tom is a year and a half to 2 years sober. He's semi-new to recovery, and he's somebody that's looking to do the next right thing, right? So he's going to surround himself with people that are winning. He's going to surround himself with people that are achieving these goals that he wants to achieve, right? And on the outset, in my life, I make it look pretty darn easy, but it's a lot of work, and that's what I tell people too. It's a one day at a time program. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. And it's also a time to connect with other people and make connections and find, we're going to get so much experience in this life that the experience is going to lead us toward our values, our goals, our ethics, our morals, our beliefs, our values, right? So the people that we hang out with might steer us in one way or the other. So we need to be careful who we surround ourselves with. But if people are telling you that it isn't, that recovery isn't possible without X, Y, and Z, that might be true for them, but you need to find it out for yourself to see what's true for you. Amen. For me, a spiritual connection with God, with the divine design for your life, will happen at some point, and we need to be the deciders of which road we're going to travel, which path we're going to go down. If you want to go down the path and get plugged in with this group and that group and this group, so be it. Do that. And one way you'll learn, one way or the other, it's either right, wrong, or indifferent, right? So if we continually search and seek out that spiritual meaning in our life, it will come to you. It will. It did me. I had to go through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of hardships to find it. I'm not closed-minded either. I'm super open-minded. And what that has given me is an opportunity to see things maybe a little bit differently, a little bit clearer, and a little bit not without such hesitation, because I used to not believe anything that I was told, because I went through a lot of things in my life, a lot of trauma, and a trauma response for me is to forget, is to just block out, see you later, I don't want to deal with it. Well, I have found my connection with spirituality in different places. I found it out on the open road with my brothers and sisters. I found it meditating on a beach. I meditated the other day when I came home, and I felt great. I felt awesome. I meditated in Duluth. I sat by the rocks and I meditated. That's hard to do because my mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. I don't want to meditate. I want my mind to go, right? But that's not how it works. We need to slow it down once in a while. That's the message for today. That's part of the message. I think I'm going to do a live stream or two on my way out there, just because I can. But I love you guys. God bless you. Be well. Be safe out there. Be brave. I found a thing the other day that said, "Be brave, not safe." And that means to be brave, don't play it safe. Get out of your comfort zone. So be brave, not safe. Love you.
So here's one that's kind of hard to see.
Hey, yo! Well, I'm on my way back from Wisconsin. I made it out to Scotty. I went to Wisco, and I love Wisconsin. Wisconsin is my favorite state. Even over Minnesota. No, I'm just kidding. Minnesota's my hometown state, so I'm partial to that. But, oh man, Wisconsin, I would love to have a condo or an apartment over there and go over there for some time, then come over here sometime. Just awesome people. The weather is just like here in Minnesota. It can change on a dime, but it's always usually pretty nice. The roads are really nice, and there's lots of places to look for rocks. My buddy Jeff, I went and saw my buddy Jeff, and my buddy's going through a little bit of a hard time, and he's maintaining his sobriety through the hard times, and I admire that. So good job, Jeff. Good job, Jeffrey. Good job, buddy. Keep it up, and God will reward us. Just like when you're looking for rocks, dude, and you pray right before you find a rock. And it's funny because you said, every time I pray, I find a rock. Well, he gave you a 1 pounder, a 2 pounder, a this or that. That's what he does. That's what God does. Provides, right? We hit him with a request, and we usually hit provide. Now, if we're not working a program or not doing good, he's not going to give us anything. He's going to give us lessons. But the blessings are going to be far and few between. But as soon as we start being receptive and open to the fact that we're helpless here, we kind of need help once in a while, I love it. That's where it's at, bro. That's working a good program. So thank you for the rocks. I got a couple rocks I'm going to show you guys here. And oh man, dude, some of the rocks that he had, wow, unbelievable. And this guy finds these things. So he's a good friend to have. Regardless of him finding cool rocks or not. Obviously he's in recovery, and he's trying to get back on his feet, trying to make it, and it seems like the man can keep us down a lot. Financially we can't get ahead sometimes, And emotionally and spiritually, we just got to keep working at it, right? And we'll get ahead sooner or later. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of work, a lot of gumption, a lot of go, a lot of, you got to go through. When you're not feeling the best, you got to push through. We can't resort to anything but what we're doing in recovery to succeed. We can't go back to using or drinking. It just doesn't work. It never has, and it never will. It isn't going to work for us, you guys. Being around supportive, sober, like-minded people, individuals, is only going to help, you guys. It's going to keep us connected to the things and places and people that are good in our life. Amen? So me going out and seeing Jeff, thank you, brother. I needed that. I needed to hear what you have to say. I wanted to hear your view on everything, and I'm glad that you can get a good use out of the kayak. That's what it's there for, brother. And I appreciate all the stories that you shared with me in that short amount of time we hung out. That means a lot to me, man. So, you guys, recovery can go either way. It can go good, it can go bad, it can go right down the middle. A lot of us get stuck inadvertently in the middle, where we're kind of just a middle of the road recovery person. And that works for some people, and I understand that. But for some of us who was drinking a 1.75 liter of vodka every day and a half, it's serious. For me, who was shooting drugs with a needle at 25 to 35, or to 30, 25 to 30, using needles for 5 years. You think I ever envisioned myself being a no good, rotten junkie? That's what I was at one point. I know that. I hit rock bottom, I had to bounce back up. Some of my testimony involves some pretty hard times, you guys. I robbed a pharmacy at gunpoint. That's part of my testimony. That's part of my story. That's part of where I had to come from to get to where I am today, because a lot of you might not know that. And there it is. I'm working on getting an expungement, and part of my expungement involves me being a different person. Me, having a foundation, a firm foundation, to know that when they expunge my record, nothing like that's ever going to happen again, because I've learned my lesson. I spent my time in jail. I spent my time on probation. I'm off probation now. I'm off any kind of supervised anything, unsupervised or supervised. I'm done with it all. I paid my time, but it still haunts me. Right? It's still something on my record. I don't let it haunt me, because I don't need to shoot. I don't need to shoot guns. Yeah, it'd be really cool, but it'd be one more thing taking money away from my family, honestly, if I had to have guns. I mean, maybe I'd just have one gun or something. That'd be cool. Just have like a really cool pistol. Anyways, what a great day. I'm riding high a little bit. I'm feeling good. That was a really good meeting I just had with my friend Jeffrey. And, as much as people, connect, I like to connect too. And I'm definitely a person that likes to spend time with other people and learn. I'm a learner. I'm a sponge. But the beat goes on, right? Don't forget why you're here today. If you had a bad morning, change that. Okay? If you had a bad afternoon, change that. Have a better evening. Don't carry tomorrow or yesterday's problems into tomorrow. Don't carry today's problems into tomorrow. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. What's going to happen, we don't know. Good days and bad days, but we can get through this. We can get through it together. God bless you. I love you. See ya.